You'll be surprised when you hear I bought the Memorial Giga Gaburevolver. That was a bit from the show, one of the Red Ranger's signature phrases. Although I imagine they wouldn't be surprised eventually. It would kind of wear off. Like, after you've done it every episode, they'd be like, are you done yet? Anyway, here is the box. So you have the Giga Gaburevolver, Kyoryu Silver, Dino Charge Silver Ranger. Picture of it on there. Judenshi over there. Kyoryu Silver there, striking a pose. How weird is it to have a silver and a gray ranger on the same team? The only gray ranger, technically. Q Ranger has Hibitsukai Silver. He's silver, he's not gray. So the only gray ranger in the franchise. And on the back, you have a picture of Torin with some of the Judenryu. Gabutira, Terragoran, Plezon, Bunpak, yeah, is that Bunpaki? Yes, the hard hat. Buragigas, Dorikera, Zaktar, Dorikera, Gabutira, oh fuck. I know his name, oh my god. Parasagan Sutegochi. God damn it, I had to look at Stegosaurus. And yeah, that's... No Ankydon? Why no Ankydon? Oh no. Ankydon right there. Right, right. Kind of hiding. And on the bottom, bunch of text. And this is the shipping box. But this is the Giga Gaburevolver Memorial Edition. And of course, when you have the first gun changer in Sentai, you repaint it as American as you can get. Friggin' red, white, and blue up in this mother. But this is a repaint of the Gaburevolver, used for only Kyoryu Silver. So like, so many Rangers get the regular Gaburevolver. Utsumi Maru gets his own Gaburi changer. But Torin gets his unique repaint of it. Talk about privilege. But I like the look of this thing. I have loved this particular changer since I watched Kyoryuger. Like, I always thought a gun changer makes a lot of sense. Like, it's something, at least if you're American, you would keep on you at all times. Something that wouldn't particularly raise any suspicion, unless it looks like this. And, you know, if you don't have a cell phone morpher, why not use a gun? I sound more American than... I believe in Joe Hendry. Anyway, let's look at the design of this. So it's basically a dinosaur on a handle. Yep. And its nose are the gun barrels. So does this shoot snot rockets? But, like, it's a cool design. The whole dinosaur face and mouth. With a freaking revolver style barrel. That spins. That spins. I love it. And, oh, the metallic red paint. Oh, that looks so nice. From the front of it all the way to the tip of the very tiny tail. No. Somebody snipped the tail of this dinosaur at some point. I know we do that to cats and dogs now, but I didn't know we did that to dinosaurs. Do we need to ask a paleontologist how accurate this thing is? The handle is, I find, at a weird angle. Like, if I were to hold my hand straight, it's not pointing straight. I have to bend my wrist like that, like I'm pointing a sword forward to point the gun forward. It's not an issue. I like the length of the handle. It's comfortable. It sits in my hand fine. It's just a weird angle. So we have to get to the electronics because there are lights. And the metallic red paint does not cover up the light show. So there's that panel there, which has a tiny little notch right there to get your finger in, because otherwise it is a pain in the ass to remove this. But you have an on-off switch right there, and the battery compartment right there. I believe it's 3 AAA batteries. And you have 2 modes. You have DX mode, meaning the original toy, and you have character mode, which is default. So if you turn it on, the eyes glow as well. It's character mode. To switch it to DX mode, you have to hold the trigger. Pull the trigger. And you get a chomping sound, and you get a shooting sound. So how you play with this is you pull on the tail, and it opens the mouth. And you can see 2 holes right there. If you look on this side, there are 2 switches. We'll talk about those in a second, but if you close it, I swear it makes like a gulp sound. That's the best way I can describe it. Like swallowing, gulp, something. Which is odd, but you do have, as previously shown off, a gun sound effect, which you can rapid fire. I'm not going to make a joke about gun violence. No. And if you hold the trigger, you get that sound. So, what do we need to play with this? Well, one of these. Judenshi, or Beast Battery, if you want to translate it. This is the one for Kyoryu Silver's personal, well, his form. Number 10, the Silver Gigas. So what you do is you hit the button, and just give you a close look. You have a picture of a Gigas right there, and that's how you activate it. You brave in. You input your bravery into the Judenshi, and like that is like empty, like run out of power. Like it's literally a battery. Like it run out of power after you like a prolonged use. It's basically the size of a AA battery, roughly. I'm gonna go get a AA battery. Actually, no, it's quite a bit bigger. I don't think there's an A battery. There might be, but this is not it. It's a battery, and it's got a pin on the end of it to activate the sounds in there. I should stop pointing a gun at the camera. That might get me canceled. But since I'm left-handed, I'm going to do this the opposite way from the show. So you pull the tail, press it, brave, in. You stick it in the bottom one to activate the transformation. And then you close it, whether pulling the tail or Kyoryu change. Fire! And now you've transformed. Seiko no Yusha. Kyoryu Silver. If I had a nickel for every Toku hero who transformed with the snap of their fingers, I'd have 3 nickels. I might have more, I haven't gone back to check, but Kamen Rider Gates, Tycoon, Kyoryu Silver. I'd have 3 nickels. But yet, you saw the barrel light up and the eyes light up, and you get a really cool kind of rock song, which I prefer that song to the sort of a standard one the regular Gaburevolver has. Like, oh, it was such an epic moment when Torin finally like transformed in the show. Like, it felt like it'd been building up to that for a while. Also, his name is Torin, which is one of the Japanese words for bird. His name is Bird. You named a sentient bipedal bird Bird. Top marks for clever. So, what else can you do? Well, you can spin it again for a final attack. Zyuden Brave finish! And you get a final attack with an added saying of the Zyuden Ryu's name. And if you shoot, nothing different. I'm pretty sure when you hold the trigger down, it's the sound of the Judenshi being activated. So let's let's show something else out, because we got 4 more Judenshi in this set. So I pre-ordered the basic set from Toku Collector. They had an option with the Judenshi 1 through 5, which was more expensive, and I couldn't put it on a multiple payment option, so I didn't go with it. But if you get 1 through 5, but through this one you get 6 Terra Gordon Ramsey, which is a Pteranodon. You get 7 Ankydon, which is a Ankylosaurus. You get 8, which is Bunpaki. We'll get to that. I'm not a super expert on dinosaurs. Bunpaki. It's Pachycephalosaurus, probably. I've watched the odd Jurassic Park movie, meaning one of them. What was it? The first Jurassic World was a soft reboot with Chris Pratt. And Plezon, who's he's not a Brachiosaurus, but he's a plesiosaur. That's what he is. He's a plesiosaur. Or just a sauropod if you prefer. But you saw that there's a second barrel. So we're gonna do this. Zyuden Brave Finish! So the final attack changes. Vamala mucho! It's just a bigger final attack. But they're all still called just Zyuden Brave Finish. And I didn't mention, but there are a couple buttons there that do nothing in this mode. Never mind, they do something in this mode. Okay, they do the same thing in this mode, basically, that they'll do in the other two modes, just without minus something. So we'll talk about them in the other mode. So you see these buttons? They're how you release the Judenshi. The first one opens the bottom, the back one opens the top. That kind of feels like opposite, but it works. So now we're going to go into character mode. So flip the switch back, pick it open, and now we have sound clips from Torin himself. So first off, if you pull the trigger, it's going to do the same sound, same gunshot sound, but it'll also, on the third one, have a grunt from Torin. And it goes through 3 of them, and I don't like them because they mess up my rapid fire. I don't like them, really. They're like my least favorite thing about this set. But if you press the top button here, brave. It's brave, or brave, but it's voice clips from Torin. So that's the sound effect of like when a monster of the week appears, the Debos monsters from like the Debos army. Like he has like a thing that detects them, like Zordon's old reading globe. Was it? The viewing globe. Yeah, that's similar to the viewing globe. Oh yeah, Torin is his last name, Kenjin Torin. But everyone just refers to him as Torin. And I think he said he fights evil. Protector of the world, basically. Insert a Judenshi to Kyoryu change, is my rough translation of that. I think that's Yaori? Kyoryu Violet. She was kind of the scientist character. I think her similar in the Dino Charge, I think, characterization wise. But funny enough about Yaori, I don't know if it was the same in Dino Charge, I'm not going to watch, but like her father was the original Kyoryu Violet. It passed the powers on to her. He was also the voice of the Gaburevolver and the Giga Gaburevolver itself. Like they used his voice for all the sound effects you hear that aren't the other characters. So it's funny, his first transformation, he's literally doing the transformation himself as he's pressing it down, and it's just repeating what he had just said. He also got a major hip cramp in his first fight on screen, so he had to pass the powers down. So the Debos army, I believe, made an evil version of Torin, which was limiting his power, which was why he couldn't become Kyoryu Silver for most of the season until they I think there was a plot point that just prevented him until he was ready. That's a sound effect we'll come back to in a second. Torin, are you done? Doing his signature move, the Torinity Strizer. Torinity, but it's his name as well. Get the pun? Where's this? Oh, the speaker's right here. I think summoning Buragigas and it transforming into its robot form, Giganto Buragio. Okay, that's all the sound effects for Torian. And so the back button, or the one on the bottom, plays songs, like his character song. It has two songs, which I'm not going to play them all. I'm not going to play them the whole way. But I wonder if he'll play Crazy Train. I can tell you the day I'm recording this. Yeah, Ozzy Osbourne. Rest in peace. I have maybe only one story I can tell, sort of. In high school, I wanted to learn how to play guitar. And my parents got me a guitar, and they got me a guitar instructor. And the very first thing he taught me, which is something pretty much anyone who's ever picked up a guitar has learned, is the first chord of I Am Iron Man. I am Iron Man. And I could play that mediocrely. But my guitar instructor did not understand that I had no experience playing guitar and was like trying to get me to learn full songs when I just was not ready. I think not the first time I picked up a guitar, because my autism group, I had a guitar. Like one of the last sessions we did in it was like in a musical circle. I picked up a guitar and I was just like strumming absolutely nothing, and I was like, oh, this is really cool, I want to try this. So I had virtually no experience, but I think I played it like mediocrely. But the only thing I have from that, my guitar instructor gave me a burned CD of Cake songs. If you know the band Cake, like 20 Cake songs, and I still have that CD in my drawers, and I still listen to those songs once in a while, I always think maybe I'll try and learn guitar again. If you hold down the button, however, you get the full transformation from his debut episode as Kyoryuger, like his very first transformation. So let's do that because I don't have to. Let's do it. I have to hold it right. So hold the button down. It's that same. So yeah, proper show accurate transformation. We can do a final attack again. Zyuden brave a finish! And we can do another thing. A sort of scrapped thing. So the other Kyoryugers, at least the first 5, all had access to a sort of power-up called Armed On, where like it would create some armor on their arms and give them a unique weapon. Now, Kyoryuger doesn't have that. They gave Torin a sword, like a stylized sword with like his wings as a handguard, and he used that as his signature weapon instead of this, like to fight. But this thing still has the sound effects for Armed On, with Torin doing like a voice clip of Armed On, as if they were going to give him it, but then scrapped it at the last minute. Now there was a movie, like a straight to DVD kind of thing, where Kyoryu Gold got a special Armed On because his Gaburi changer doesn't function the same, but they never gave one to Torin. But we can hear what it would have sounded like. So you insert a second Judenchi, this time Ankidon. Then you close it, reopen it, and close it again. So if you just close it, you get. But if you. Mucho, very mucho, and you Armed On. So they would do that. Which kind of, I'm hitting my arm at the same time as I'm. So now you have an Armed On and you have a different shooting sound. Yeah. And if you rotate, you just get the same sound. It's cool to imagine what could have been. But we have 2 more modes to get through. So if you hold down the button, it'll change which character. So that was the second character to use Kyoryuger, the Red Ranger's father, whose name I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'll probably put like here. Dino Charge adapted that idea, but changed the Red Ranger's father from the Silver Ranger to the Teal Ranger, Ankidon, who was Japanese counterpart. The actor passed away maybe last year, either early this year or last year, but yeah. In Kyoryuger, he was a spirit. Like he was a character that was dead until he passed his powers on to a living person who just happened to be like the sister of Kyoryu Blue. But yeah, our RIP around the edge. But yeah, he I believe in Kyoryuger he was like the partner of Torian. He like or Torian supported him until he murdered Torian. Spoilers. And took over Kyoryu Silver, which pissed off the other Kyoryugers because they didn't understand what was going on. Because there's a whole thing of the Spirit Rangers needing to access, I think, close to the equivalent of Hell. Heffel. And you could only go there if you passed away. It's like the two Spirit Rangers, Kyoryuger Cyan, and Navy. No, Navy is Death Ryuger. Kyoryu Gray. So Kyoryu Cyan, Kyoryu Gray. Since they're spirits, they could go there, but Torian couldn't. So I guess they hatched a plan to pass on the powers and then allow Torian to continue fighting the Debos army at the bottom of Yggdrasil, the life tree. We have sound effects from him, much less than Torian. We have 9. Talking to Kyoryu Red saying, "You really are my son." Something about bravery and strength. And yeah, his signature, instead of being a sword, is just punching. Yep. We had 9 sound effects. We're already at the... Let's transform. And it sounds like he adds an extra U to the word brave, because Torian's like, brave, in! And he's like, brave in! And he doesn't do the Seiko no Isha, Kyoryu Silver thing. And he also has the armed on with a voice clip. With that same sound. So I'm going to leave. So the last mode, which I just activated, is Encyclopedia mode. So you can transform normally. I'm just going to take this out for a second. You have the standard rapid fire. But also, you can transform normally. But if you just pull the trigger, it will read which Judenchi is in and give you factoids about it. So, Brachiosaurus is a super Brachiosaurus that transformed into a Judenryu. Something about the other 10. Well, there's 10. There's actually more than 10. But the main 10 that were in the show. And then. Yeah. You look for the Kyoryugers. Something about King, because he referred to Kyoryuger's father as King. And then that's all the sound effects you get in that mode. So let's just go through quickly, starting with 6. Or, not starting with 6, but you know what I mean. Turn it on. Utsumi was a samurai from the Sengoku period who turned into Kyoryu Gold and was fighting the Day-Boss army when he got stuck in one of the monsters who was basically a living armor. And then he basically fell unconscious. The armor used his power, used his Terragordon until the modern times where he was able to break free. Ankidon? He's got a hammer, Ankidon. He is an Ankylosaurus. I think he was basically a sort of a Viking. Yeah, he passed on his powers to Nosan, basically the father of the group, the guy who keep making dad jokes and use wrestling moves. He passed on his powers to his sister. How about Bunpaki? I think Kyoryuger was Buddhist monk, that kind of trope. Bald head. Yeah, he was basically a Buddhist monk. And he passed on his powers to his I think only living relative, who I believe was played by the same actor, just with a hairpiece or with hair. And I think it was his story that he was the opposite of brave. He was very cowardly, but it was his ancestor that inspired him to gain his bravery and become Kyoryuger. And Plezon. Plezon not only could control go in the water, it could fly in space. It evolved to not just control the seas, but control the seas of space. I think it was very awkwardly put. How did you get into space? And yeah, that's everything in this set. And while this was the first Sentai gun transformation device, it wasn't the last. Because we also have size comparison. VS changer. Ultraman trigger. The only one with like a gun transformation device in Ultraman. Also, I want to talk about this for a second because the main 5 Kyoryugers held their gun at their hip with a holster very similar to that one. I wish this release came with it. That's the only thing I think I'm missing from this set is like a holster to put it on my hip, even though it is a bit big. In fact, this isn't even 1-to-1 scale from the show. The one in the show was a bit bigger than this, as I've seen a prop showed off next to the regular Gaburevolver. And that brings us to the Dino Charge equivalent. This was the... Yeah, I've reviewed this toy before. You can't... Maybe you can tell, maybe you can't, but I had to heavily customize this. I had to paint all the way down this. I had to paint these. I had to paint these. Had to paint the barrels. I could have probably used a different silver to paint the handle, just to make it as show accurate as I could. Shut up. But yeah, it's like this was not acceptable. Like they couldn't even do the double Dino Charger thing. And also, look at the size. Look at the size difference. This is almost as big as my dictionary. Like, this is actually closer to a AA battery in size. But, like... Also, why did you make it 4 clicks when this does half... Like, does the same amount in half the effort? Like, the... Tyrannosaurus Rex, not Gabutira. Like, they're so... generic, like... Stegosaurus, like you couldn't even give them a cool name, like a cool name abbreviation. Like Gabutira is cool, kind of thing. So, overall, this is a really cool set. If you're a fan of it, pick which one you like the most. Whether you like the regular yellow coloration, whether you prefer the blue, the red, white, and blue, or you prefer the anniversary predominantly red color scheme. Now, this piece can't attach to form the Gaburi cannon, but they did make a memorial of the Gaburi caliber. So maybe I'll get that one day to form the full Gaburi cannon. But if you're a fan of Kyoryuger or Dino Charge, I recommend this toy. You can't have my gun. What's that phrase they say in cop shows when the cop's been bad? Give me your badge and your gun. Yeah, well, just try and take them from me. Oh God, I sound way too American. I need some maple syrup or something. Need to go apologize to somebody to counteract it. But you should pick up one of these. It's cool. I enjoy the hell out of it. Keep it weird, eh? Bye. Stay brave.